It's me, Mac McCurdy. I'm going to give this another go because I was, um, I did this earlier and I was muted the entire time. So, yeah, I'm not muted now. So here we go. I wanted to talk about Oracle decks and their use, how to use them, how I use them, and you're able to do, whatever you want, however you want to use them, by doing spreads or whatever. I don't do that. And then I'll go over the decks that I've used, the ones I do use, and one that I just didn't care for. And so I'll run through all of that. But first, I'd like to talk to you about my process, how I use them. So when I cast runes, the first thing I'll do is um, get the Oracle deck. I will shuffle it 3 times, and then I will cut it in half. That's my son Rocco. Cut it in half, and then I create an arch out of it with the spread. I'll just take my hand and go an arch, and then I'll feel the energies of the cards, and from there I will pick a card, and that will serve as the overarching influence for the rest of the read. So if you can see here in this picture that I have, you can see that the oracle card picked was Fenrir, and that could be several things. It could be cautionary tale about who you trust. It could be about peer pressure, people, persuading you to do things you're not comfortable with or wouldn't normally do. It could be about loyalty, choosing your friends, all the way down to devouring, the All Father. So this provides the influence. And then I pull the runes, 3 runes, and I pull them one at a time and I move them from left to right. So depending on the question or the intent, um, so it could be past, present, future, or it could just be a series of messages that combine and to weave a thread, depending on the situation, what's being asked, or just whatever the runes are wanting to convey to a person at that point. But that's how I use them. I know a lot of people use them like by doing spreads. The booklets, a lot of these booklets have spreads in them that people use, which is similar to tarot. I don't do tarot. I don't use tarot. I'm just now starting to study it, which is pretty cool. Thank you, John, for gifting me my first tarot deck. But all of these decks that I'm going to go over today are all found on Amazon. So feel free to jump on over and go there if you're interested. And yeah, so I'll go over 3 decks that I've currently use, have used, and that I like a lot. And then I have one deck that I got that I just wasn't so happy with it, and I'll go over that one as well. The good, the bad, and the ugly. We're going to talk Oracle decks today. This first one that I have up is called Runes of the Northern Light, and here it is here. And this was my very first Oracle deck. It's by I'm going to probably not say the names correctly, but I'm going to give it a go. Paola Tartara and Jamie Elford, and it only contains the 24 runes of the Elder Futhark. But sometimes simplicity is exactly what we need. And the artwork is clean, simple, elegant. The foils give the cards like this shimmer and texture. And the booklet is surprisingly accessible. So it's written in 7 languages, and it gives a brief explanation for each rune. It gives meditation for the rune, and it gives a few spreads as well. So if you're interested in learning different spreads, this one will have some that's for this particular deck of cards. Again, I don't do spreads, so for me, that wouldn't be anything I'm interested in. But this was my first deck. Great deck, too, if you're a beginner and wanting to learn more about runes and you're looking for an oracle deck. This is a great one. Again, for beginners, simple, clean, nice, beautiful artwork. Loved it. Great beginner set. And that again is Runes of the Northern Light. That was my first set that I ever had. And then this next set is actually holds a very special place in my heart. It was gifted to me by my husband Dustin for Yule many years ago, and it has become something of an heirloom to me. So this is the Viking Oracle, Wisdom of Ancient Norse by Stacey DeMarco, and artwork by Jimmy Menton. So it includes 24 runes, but it also includes 21 additional cards. And the additional cards are deities, sacred objects, and cosmic forces like Ragnarok and the Void. And the artwork is just absolutely stunning. It's some of the best Norse inspired imagery I've seen. They're all very rich with character. Just absolutely well done. Again, the 24 runes plus the 21 additional cards gives you 45 cards, and just well done. Just absolutely well done. And the booklet, it reads like an Edda. It's rich and mythic and immersive. It gives spreads. So this one gives you some more information than most booklets will. It gives you a little more detail in them. And while I don't use reverse meanings in when I'm casting runes or using the deck, this one does. So it will give you that aspect as well. And I deeply appreciate its storytelling style and elemental associations as well. So, like Wunyo, it says the element is earth and air. You'll get something like that with every single one of the cards. So, I appreciate that. I think that's really cool. Nice little touch to add. And this deck feels like home to me. I've blood bonded with it. And one day I will pass it on to Rocco when the time is right. And this is more than a tool for me. It's kin. So this is one I highly recommend. Again, this one's close to my heart. I use it for special occasions, bloats, or sacred reading if I need. But that is one of my favorite decks, and I keep it safe and secure. The next deck, I'll just really quickly, I wasn't going through the pictures here as I was holding up the deck, but this again is the Viking Oracle deck, and there's some close-ups of it that you could see, and you can see the booklet there. It gives a little bit of detail in it, and here's just a shot of kind of them on my casting altar there. So let's go ahead and talk about this next deck, and it is Gjallarhorn. And this is the deck that I use most of the days. I use it daily. This is my daily use deck, and it is the Norse Oracle deck, the Norse Oracle deck, Gjallarhorn by Hope Hughes, Jillian, Christina, and Matt Hughes, with guidance from Dr. Jackson Crawford. And this deck has everything I could ask for. So let's start off with the runes. It's all 24 runes of the Elder Futhark. Oh, by the way, all of these decks that I'm using now, they're all Elder Futhark. That's just the set I use when I cast, when I use. So it has 24 runes and 22 deities, including figures you rarely see, like Hothur and Surtur, and even Thor's goats. And it has 16 sigils with powerful Icelandic staves like Jen Fazi and Aegis Helmer, Vegvisir, and a few others. So it's really really cool that it has that. It's unique. That I don't think a lot of Oracle decks have those as well. And the booklet is just like the perfect balance of simplicity, but it's packed with meaning. So you can see here that it's just one page. It's a good sized booklet, and it'll give the card and the meaning to it. So even though it's simple, it gets right to the point, and so it never overwhelms. Even though the deck is large, the artwork is extraordinary. It's beautifully detailed. It's reverent. It's alive. So I love this deck so much that I bought a second copy for community use. So I keep my deck private and personal to me. So Gjallarhorn is like the perfect blend of like beauty, scholarship, and accessibility, and it has become my daily companion. I just want to touch really briefly again on keeping my deck separate. So my deck is I keep it separate because it contains all of my weird and my energy and my path. So when I cast for other people, I have a separate deck that I use. So they're not getting my weird mixed with theirs, and I'm not bringing theirs home and mixing it with mine. Theirs, especially if I'm doing it for a stranger and strangers at an event or anything like that. But I was looking for a community deck, and that's what sparked this whole thing. And so I can use that for the community or when I'm doing reads for other people. And that I was looking, I was like, should I get one that I already have that I know, or should I get a new deck? And so here we go with the last deck that I'm going to review. And this one, yeah, no. And I don't want to be mean because, I'm sure like, this is probably going to be a useful tool for somebody, but it is definitely not for me. So, and this one is called Runic Oracle, and it's Ancient Norse Myth and Magic by Richard Lister and Selena Moon. And this deck was my first attempt to find something new for the community pools, but it just didn't resonate with me at all. But let's start with what I did like. So it does include some unique deities like Angerbotha and Gelvig, and even some like combo cards like Freyr and Gerther. But and it even has like Odin on Yggdrasil. So that's unique. And also the booklet brings in like crystals and elements and the planets. So it really draws in from other elements if you're interested in weaving those things into your path. So that's unique, and I thought that was really cool to do that. I personally don't do that, but it gets me thinking like, oh man, I could expand. I could think those things as well and weave those in my path if they resonate with me. And so each card on it, and this is good for like beginners or helpful reminders, but each card has a little descriptor on it of what it is that you're pulling. Like it's a quick look at, again, helpful for a reminder if you're feeling absent-minded or if you're a beginner and you're learning. But the art beyond that, oh man, the artwork just felt off. Like Odin has these 90s tribal tattoos and both eyes are intact, and the whole deck just like gives off this Brosa True vibe. So it's more like a grunge concert poster than like a sacred oracle. And the 3-word descriptors often like miss the core meaning of the runes. For example, like Hagalaz is listed as like change, hardiness, challenge, but there's like no mention of hail, the very essence of Hagalaz. And the deity choices felt inconsistent. So like you don't have Freyr by himself. You only have Freyr with Gerther, and Othin shows up twice. And it's One's by himself and one's on Yggdrasil, and he's not even hanging on Yggdrasil. He's just like standing in front of it, posing. Um, and I would think like, okay, well, you have these duplicates. You That gives you room for other, other deities that you would expect to be in a deck, and they're just not there. They're just absent. So I don't want to be cruel. Again, someone may find value with them, but for me, it missed the mark. I couldn't really use this at a community uh, reading or a pool for anybody. So, um, in good conscience, I just couldn't bring this deck into like the community reading. So I ended up ordering another set of the Gjallarhorn uh, deck, and I use that. So I have like a Gjallarhorn deck for myself, and then one for the community. So not every tool that calls itself Norse is like created equal. Some are shallow, some are profound, some may surprise you. But the most important thing is discernment. So listening to what resonates with you, what feels sacred, and what aligns with your path. So this runic deck, it won't stay on my shelf. I believe in releasing tools that don't serve me. I'll give this one a ritual send off, thanking it for the small lessons it did bring, and I'll recycle it. In this way, it's not wasted, its energy is released, and I can walk forward lighter with only the tools that truly honor my path and my practice. Those are 4 decks. Again, all of them can be found on Amazon if you're looking for some. Again, the Gjallarhorn is a really great one that I use every day. You guys will see that a lot in my rune pools. I think you'll probably only see that one. And then the Viking Oracle is, just a part of me. It's so alive, and an heirloom now that I would give to my son. So I'm interested. If you guys have Oracle decks, how do you use them? Do you do spreads? Do you use them the same way I do? Is just like an influence? I know some people do this like drop readings or something like that. I don't know. Different things. People have different ways of doing it. So yeah, and which decks do you use? Like if you have one that you really like, go drop it in the comments. I'd love to check it out. Or if you have some that you absolutely do not like, and you want to provide a cautionary tale for everybody else, feel free to drop that in the comments as well. But it has been great being with you guys tonight. I hope all of you are well, and take care of yourself, and I will talk to you again later.